coverage you can count on. It's the KFOX 14 Morning News.
We begin this morning with breaking news. An early morning police chase through El Paso ends in gunfire.
It started in central El Paso and came to a deadly end near Sarco. We'll take you live to the scene for the very latest in less than 2 minutes. Good morning, I'm Gina Benitez in for Stephanie Guadian.
And I'm Shelton Dotson. We're going to that breaking news in just a moment. First, we want to check in on traffic and weather. Josh Zuber in for Brad Montgomery this morning. Good morning, Josh.
A chilly start to your morning once again, but today is going to shape up very nice. Let's take a live look outside here on our WeatherNet sites. 42 degrees here on the west side, and temperatures obviously going to drop just before sunrise. Have a feeling we'll see the mid to lower 30s before that happens. Then we'll warm up to 60 degrees today. A lot of sunshine, a pretty mild day though, below average temperatures. As we take a look in Las Cruces, 59 degrees, a pretty nice day overall. Winds will be calm tonight, another cold one, but some 70s are on the way. We'll talk about that in less than 10 minutes.
And happy Friday. Having a good morning. Well, I-10 is looking good. I just want to let you know Paisano is closed in all directions. Due to this police activity, it looks like it's going to be an issue for quite some time this morning. There is no getting on Paisano at this time in all directions.
All right, Lizette, thank you very much. We begin this morning with the news of a man dead after leading police on a wild chase through El Paso.
The chase started in central El Paso and ended in gunfire on the west side. KFOX 14 Morning News reporter Ruben Veloz is live on the scene near Sarco with the latest. Ruben?
Well, we are just south of the Sarco Towers. Behind me, you can see there are a lot of police officers here. El Paso sheriff's deputies and Border Patrol are all involved in this investigation. The chase started around 2:45 in downtown El Paso near Missouri and Durango. According to a scanner traffic, police were after a man in a red Ford Taurus, and that's where the chase ended here near Executive and Durango. Officers tell me that the man jumped out of his car and took off running toward the brick factory south of Paisano. That's where police tell me he started shooting at officers. El Paso police are confirming that the man was shot and is dead, but they say it appears that no officers were hurt in this shooting. Again, police, several agencies are here involved in this investigation. We are working to get more information, and we'll have more information about this shooting investigation to you in the next half hour. Reporting live in downtown El Paso, Ruben Veloz, the KFOX 14 Morning News.
Ruben, thank you. Next, we have our team coverage on sequestration. The U.S. Senate took up 2 different bills to try and avoid automatic spending cuts. Both of those plans failed, forcing government budget cuts to become law this morning.
Democrats were fighting for a combination of spending cuts and some tax increases. However, Republicans are opposed to any tax hikes. Since there is no agreement this morning, the government will now have to spread $85 billion in cuts over the next 6 months.
And those cuts to different government agencies across the nation will add up to about $1.2 trillion over the next 10 years. KFOX 14 Morning News reporter Bill Malusian explains how some of those cuts are going to be felt locally at Fort Bliss.
There's no reason for us to panic here, and we're not here in Fort Bliss, and there's no reason for the people of El Paso to panic.
Joe Bacino says he doesn't think the sequestration cuts will be felt immediately at Fort Bliss, but rather that they will slowly creep in over several months.
There's a perception that at midnight tonight, the lights are going to go out, and then people will come on here and things are going to be closed and there'll be tumbleweeds rolling down the road. I think that that's not the case.
He says while there is no need to worry, the cuts will have an effect.
And the reason it's significant is because we do have DA civilian workers that are receiving a 20% pay cut as a result of this.
We also talked to an economics professor at UTEP. He says El Paso is going to be one of the hardest hit cities because we have so many federal agencies here.
The Border Patrol, in anticipation of this, has already released a lot of the low-risk detainees. They want to be sure that they don't have to release any of the criminal elements that they have detained.
He says the cuts are coming at a terrible time for the United States.
Growth in the U.S. national economy would have been about 2.2% in the absence of the sequester problem. it'll drop down to about 1.7%, maybe 1.5% in terms of total GDP growth.
You don't lose readiness overnight. So we're not going to go from being ready to go to a mission today to Thursday to not being ready Friday.
Bill Malugin, the KFOX 14 Morning News.
Now, Professor Fulton tells KFOX 14 that even though business most likely won't expand and people won't spend as much money, the economy only has about a 20% chance of dipping back into a recession. Now, those cuts will also affect New Mexico, of course. Senator Tom Udall says White Sands missile range will also be hurt. Here's what he tells our exclusive Washington Bureau.
This is going to hurt New Mexico because there's a very large federal presence in New Mexico. The kinds of things where it hurts are small businesses that have a lot of contact with our military bases.
Now note that these automatic sweeping cuts could be reversed before they take full effect, but to do that, Congress needs to come up with a new budget by March the 27th. Now neither Democrats nor Republicans are accepting responsibility for this budget gridlock. This afternoon, President Obama will meet with congressional leaders at the White House. And in about 27 minutes from now, our report on what analysts are expecting to come out of that meeting.
5:05 this morning, a rising star in American politics makes a stop here in the Sun City. San Antonio Mayor Julian Castro is the youngest mayor of a top 50 American city. He's just 38 years old. Castro believes the Republicans have gone so far to the right that they're starting to lose the business community.
I'm confident that in the next 6 to 8 years that Texas is going to turn at least purple and then eventually blue because the Democratic Party now is very clearly a more inclusive party.
Castro will be in office until 2017. He says he has no plans to run for governor of the state. Catholics in Las Cruces have a new head of their church. Oscar Cantu officially takes over as bishop for the Las Cruces diocese. Cantu's installation took place yesterday afternoon at the Las Cruces Convention Center. Parishioners say he seems like a good fit.
First thoughts on the new bishop are that he's going to be very people-oriented and that he will be a good shepherd, as they say, for the people.
Cantu comes from San Antonio, where he served as an auxiliary bishop for about 5 years. He replaces Ricardo Ramirez, who retired after serving as the first bishop of Las Cruces for 30 years. Las Cruces Catholics aren't the only ones who are experiencing a piece of history. The Catholic Church as a whole sees a monumental day as Pope Benedict XVI officially resigns. Here you see Benedict as he departs the Vatican for the last time as Pope yesterday. Flying by helicopter to Castel Gandolfo, he blesses the crowds of well-wishers already gathered there. Before leaving the Vatican, he delivered his final greetings to the cardinals, urging them to work in unity. He's promising, quote, unconditional reverence and obedience to his successor. The last time a pope resigned was in 1415.
Time now is 5:07. A woman and a child pull off a daring dog napping.
How the duo were able to snatch an expensive puppy without being detected.
Definitely want to grab a coat as you walk out the door, but temperature is pretty mild today and even warmer for your Saturday. Your forecast is just ahead on the other side of the break when the KFOX 14 Morning News rolls on.